So, very good morning, students. Welcome to IIT NEET Foundation, our Focus C program by Krishnaveni Talent Schools and the Mastermind Schools. So, once again, welcome all the participant branches along with the class 8 students for today's session. As you all can see on the screen, and you are well aware, my subject is physics. We are in class 8th. Today we are starting a new chapter, chapter number 8, and the last chapter of the material, heat. And of course, we are in the session number 1. So, this is the last chapter in our material. We already completed 7 chapters in last 7 months. And today is the last chapter, heat chapter, which is the syllabus for the test 8. Right, test 8, date is 24th February. And after this, we have the complete revision in the March month to attend for the grand test. So this topic, heat, will cover in the 8th test, which is on 24th of this month, February. And later, in the month of March, after completing this chapter, we'll revise the entire chapters, all the 8 chapters, which are helpful for grand test in the month of March. Right? Hope you are clear. So, the word heat, you are well familiar. Heat is nothing but, hot. When you say heat is there, when the body is hot. Hot, common word, and technically it is called heat. Right? So, we cannot see heat. Right? You can see light. Right? We cannot see heat. Only can experience. We can feel it. Right? By touching, you can feel that heat is there. So, heat is nothing but it is a form of energy only. It is energy because we can do lot of works with heat. We can generate electricity with heat. We can do so many wonders with the help of the heat. That's why it is called energy. So, when you move to the topic here, we'll discuss about what is heat. When body is heated, what happened? Its temperature raises. So, another word comes, temperature. So, heat and temperature are the very relative terms, right? They are relative to each other. When heat is there, temperature is more. When temperature is less, heat is less, temperature is less. So, they are mutually convertible. Mutually convertible. So, in this topic, we'll start, in this chapter, we'll start with the words heat and temperature. Then we'll move further. What is the effect of heat? So, how heat will transfer later. So, there are so many concepts you can discuss. First, today we'll discuss what is heat and temperature. Then, what are the scales of temperature? That is how to measure temperature. Then, what is thermal expansion? How body expand and heating, either solids, liquids, or gases. Then, calorimetry means how to measure the heat. The science deals about the measurement of heat is called calorimetry. So, these are the 4 important concepts we are going to discuss in the coming days, entire this month, next month, whenever we will get the time. Maybe it will take 6 to 8 sessions. Okay. So, but before that, you should know exactly what is the heat as per the physics. Right? Now, the first we'll start with the heat. We know that when a hotter body is kept in contact with a colder body, for example, say there is a hot body, 10 degrees Celsius. Beside that, I place a cold body, 5 degrees, 6 degrees Celsius. Roughly, I'm telling. So, body number 1, body number 2. So, they are kept in contact. Okay. So, what happened here? Heat flows from hot body to cold body. So, for some time, the colder body becomes hot and hotter body becomes cool down. Is it correct? Simple example I'll tell. Suppose take one hot coffee and in other bowl we take ice cubes. right? Hot coffee and ice cubes. In two different bowls I have taken. Both the bowls are placed on dining table. It's a very simple activity you can do. Tomorrow morning, when your parents are having coffee or you are drinking a milk, you can do both. You take hot coffee and cold cubes and place it on table. So this is hot body. Suppose say its temperature is 25 degrees. Example. And its temperature is 0 degrees. Example I am telling. You place it on table. So after some time, you can see ice melts. It becomes water. Why it is melting? Because it becomes hotter. Whereas coffee becomes cold after some time. Why? Because the heat from the coffee goes to table. Table is a cold body when compared to hot coffee. So transfer here. Whereas ice cubes. So from table, ice cubes receive the heat because table is a hot body when compared to ice cubes. So remove them and touch. We find that coffee becomes cool and ice becomes hot because of the melts. So it clearly indicates that heat always flows from hot body to cold body. If you sit beside any friend who got fever, generally we'll feel that we'll also get fever. That is a convention. That is a convention. Heat always flows from hot to cold. Correct? Heat. Suppose see, water. If you take water, it flows from high level to low level. Water. It will come from tank to tap. It won't go from tap to tank. Similarly, if you see air, air flows from high pressure to low pressure. Air. You take current. Current flows from higher potential, you can call it as higher. That is positive to negative. Current. All these are the conventions. Right? As per the convention, even heat also always flows from hot body to cold body. When two bodies of different temperature kept in contact with each other, hot body becomes cold, cold body becomes hot. Means they both transfer energy. Okay. So up to what level they transfer, I'll tell. See here. Down till the bodies have become heat energy has transferred from hotter body to colder body. Hot and cold are relative terms. Heat is the form of energy which is also called as thermal energy. So heat we can call it as also thermal energy. Heat or thermal energy is the sum of the all types of kinetic energies of the all molecules of the body. See, for example, I will tell. Suppose you have taken a body of 20 degrees Celsius temperature. Another body of 10 degrees Celsius temperature. So it is the hot body. It is the cold body. When you contact each other, heat will flow from hot body to cold body. Up to what level? Until both become same. Means it flow from 15 becomes 15 degrees and 15 degrees. Total 30, 20 plus 10. 30 becomes 15 and 15. That is called thermal equilibrium. Until they attain the same temperature, body heat flows from hot body to cold body. Such state of attaining same temperature is called thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium. So, when the two bodies of different temperatures kept in contact with each other, heat flows from hot body to cold body until hot body to cold body until both temperatures become same. Such state is called thermal equilibrium. So what happens here? How the body becomes heat here? For example, you take water, cold water, right? You are heating on flame, high flame. You are heating. So what happened here? Cold water molecules will get some kinetic energy. So because they move, right? They get some kinetic energy as the molecules of water. You can see the clearly bubbles. They form the bubbles and they'll collide with each other. When the molecules collide with each other, they'll get the heat. So for example, when you are rubbing two hands, what happens? Heat is produces. Similarly, when water molecules collide with each other, they get some kinetic energy like translation energy, vibration. Because of translation, vibration of molecules, the body becomes heat. So when you are using iron rod, for example, you are hitting on steel rod at one end. Here you are heating, right? You are holding here. After some time, what happened? The heat will heat from there and comes to your hand, and you are doing the hand. You can feel the heatness. How it is transferring here? From one molecule to other molecule, there is a vibrational, translational, or kinetic energy. Because of the kinetic energy of the molecules, the heat transfers and reaches the other end. Clear? So that is explained in this part. Very important explains first. So we know that when hotter body is kept in contact with the colder body for some time, the colder body becomes hot and hotter body becomes cold. Till bodies have the same temperature, that is, the bodies are said to be thermal equilibrium. This is because heat energy has transferred from hotter body to colder body. Hot and cold are the relative terms. Heat is the form of energy. You can note down this point, very important. Heat is a form of energy which is also called as thermal energy. Heat or thermal energy is the sum of the types of kinetic energies. Either it is a translatory energy or vibratory or rotational. All of the molecules of the body. So whenever bodies will undergo a kinetic energy, either it may be vibrational or rotational, translational, any type, they collide with each other and gives out the heat. Such form of energy is called heat energy or thermal energy. Clear? Next, unit. So it is a energy. Energy is measured in the either different units are there like erg or joule. But here when you see here, SI unit of heat is joule because it is a form of energy. Energies are measured in joule only. However, practical units of heat is taken in calorie. Even though it is measured in joule, practically heat is measured in calories. So 1 calorie is the amount of heat produced to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water from 14.5 to 15.5 means 1 degree Celsius. To raise 1 degree Celsius, how much amount of heat is required is called 1 calorie. See, 14.5 to 15.5 is nothing but 1 only. See, 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joule. Very important conversion. 4.18 joule is considered as 1 calorie. Of course, kilo means 10 power 3 will come. Okay. Kilo means 1000. So 4.18 into 10 power 3. We can write joule. Very important relation. So you can note this as a first point from here. From here you can write as a first point in synopsis, and this you can write as a second point. Very important units. Okay, no doubt. Take it as a synopsis, side heading in your notebook. Point number 1. So here, heat is a form of energy. From here, no need of before audible. Heat is a form of energy which is always also called as thermal energy. Heat or thermal energy is the sum of all types of kinetic energies of the molecules of a body. Up to here you can write point number 1. So second point also can write this make as third point. Second point, heat always flows from hot body to cold body. That is second point. Note down all of you. First point is from here. Heat is a form of energy which is also called as thermal energy. And continuation up to here you can write. Second point is heat is always flows from hot body to cold body. And third point is units. So unit of heat is calorie or joule. Whereas 1 calorie is equal to how much? 1 kilocalorie is equal to how much? Up to here, no. Of course, you can note the fourth point also. I will explain you. Point number 4. Point number 4. If W is the amount of work done is converted into Q amount, because work done gives the heat. Right. 4 synopsis in order first. Right. First, second, third is units. Fourth one is the last line. W is the work done. Q is the heat. Then relation C. Joule is equal to work by heat. That we learn later when you discuss about calorimetry. So this is totally about the heat. Heat is a form of energy, which is also called as thermal energy, which always flows from hot body to cold body, is measured either in joule or calorie, where 1 joule is equal to 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joule, whereas 1 kilocalorie is equal to 4.18 into 10 power 3 joule. So J is equal to joule is equal to W by Q, because W and Q are directly proportional. More work, more heat. If you rub hand more time, more heat is produced, right? Same. From the J is equal to W by Q, where J is called the Joule's constant, named after scientist. We'll discuss when you discuss about the calorimetry. Okay, this is the term about heat. Now already I told one more term is there, temperature. So because we can feel the heat. When water boils, touch and feel that heat is there. But how to measure? How many degrees it is hot? How many degrees it is cold? That is called temperature. Degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Whether body is cool or hot. Right? That is called as temperature. Another term. It is purely dependent on heat only. So take it as point number 5. The temperature is the effect of heat energy. So when you are heating the body, the effect is called temperature. So heat is cause. Temperature is effect. Very important point. So because of heat only, the body temperature increases. You note this point, point number 5. Heat is cause, temperature is effect. Right? So because of heat only, temperature will raise. That is the meaning. Okay, next 6th point. Determine thermal state of the substance. In other words, degree of, see, this is very important. From here, degree of hotness or coldness of the substance is called temperature. So from here you can write the degree of hotness or coldness. We can measure temperature, hot temperature also, cold temperature also. Cold 0 degrees, -1, -2. That is also temperature only. That is coldness. 50 degrees, 40 degrees, 35 degrees, 27 degrees. What is that? Hotness. Either hotness or coldness of the body is called temperature only. So point number 6 is the degree of hotness or coldness of the body is called temperature. So temperature is measured in units of temperature are Kelvin. Standard measurement is Kelvin. So name of the scientist. Of course, many more are there. Celsius also there. Okay. And foreign heat also there. So many are there. We'll discuss. Point number 7, not 6. Okay. So before going for the further study about the temperature or further comparing the heat and temperature, we'll see one video or explanation about the heat and temperature. Okay. So 5th point, write down heat is a cause, temperature is the effect. 6th point, the degree of hotness or coldness of the body is called temperature. Seventh point, temperature is measured in either in Kelvin, Celsius, or Fahrenheit. Seven important synopsis from today's chapter. Along with that, we'll see one video. Right. So I'm moving to the video now.
Introduction. Hello students, can you imagine how cold the earth would be if there were no sun? The sun is the earth's main source of heat. Only a little of the sun's heat reaches the earth. However, this is enough for life to exist on earth. Other sources of heat are fire and electric heater. In this lesson, we will study about heat and its measurements. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify hot, cold, and warm bodies, define heat as transfer of energy, differentiate between heat and temperature, explain clinical and laboratory thermometer,
Only 33 points enough.
the sun, burning fuels, electricity, and mechanical work are sources of heat.
From where
Let
you
us
get heat
perform an
is
experiment. We keep tin or aluminium sheet out under sun and touch after some time. We then place the same tin or aluminium sheet inside the house. Touch the sheet after some time. In the first case, we feel hot, and in the second case, we feel cold. Let us prove through another experiment that sun gives heat. Use a magnifying glass to focus sunlight on a piece of white paper. At the position where the sunlight is focused, the paper becomes hot, starts to turn brown, and soon bursts into flame.
right.
Thus, the heat from the sun makes the paper burn. Man can generate heat by burning wood, coal, and gas. Wood, coal, and gas are called fuels. Fuels burn in machine to make them work. A motor car runs by burning fuel. An aeroplane flies by burning fuel. Electricity also gives heat. Man uses electricity to cook the food and to work the machines. Heat can also be produced by rubbing two things together. This is by doing mechanical work. Rub the palms of your hands together. What do you feel? You will feel that it is hot. The ancient man generated fire by rubbing two stones.
Friction.
You must have held both ice and hot cup of coffee. Why is it that in one you feel cold, while in the other it is hot? When heat energy from our body flows out rapidly, we feel very cold. This is the case when we hold ice. Ice on the palm gives a sensation of cold because heat from your body flows out of your body to the ice. With this heat, the ice on your palm melts. When the heat energy flow from outside into our body is rapid and more, we feel very hot. This is the case when we hold cup of coffee. The heat from tea or coffee flows to tea to the hand. Thus, it is the flow of heat energy which determines the cold or hot. Students, let us perform an activity to understand the concept of direction of heat flow. We place a glass of hot milk in a dish with cold water. After some time, milk gets cool and water gets warm. Both milk and water come to lie at the same temperature. Direction of the flow of heat is from hot to cold.
Correct.
Now we will learn the concept of temperature. Temperature is the measurement of hotness or coldness of an object. We say that water from fridge is cold and milk is hot. How much cold is water? Is it cooler than ice? How much hot is milk? Is it hotter than boiling water? Obviously, for this we need a measure to know about coldness and hotness of a body. A hot body is at a higher temperature than a cool body. When a substance is heated, its temperature rises. On cooling, the temperature comes down.
That is either hotness.
Degree of hotness or coldness in a body is described as its temperature. The table shows the difference between heat and...
All of you note down this very important table. Note down as it is. The difference between heat and temperature. We studied separately about heat, about temperature. You can note this as a table. Please first make it as table. Difference between heat and temperature. Heat is a form of energy. Temperature is a measure of heat. Heat energy raises the temperature of the body. Temperature decides the flow of heat. Very important points. Heat is a measure in joule. Temperature is measured in Kelvin. One more point also, you can add fourth point. I'll write here. Heat is cause. Heat is cause. C-A-U-S-E. Temperature is effect. This you can add. Fourth point. So point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, and 4. Make it fast. How fast you can, you write. Temperature is, heat is cause. Like force and motion. So without force, there is no motion. So force is called cause, motion is called effect. Similarly here also. Without it, there is no temperature. So if you complete it, we'll go forward to the video again. Some more part need to be explained. So heat is cause, temperature is effect, right? I'm moving.
And temperature. Heat is a form of energy. Temperature is a measure of heat energy level. Heat energy raises the temperature of a body, while the temperature decides the direction of flow of heat. Heat flows from a body at higher temperature to the body at lower temperature. Heat is measured in joules. Temperature is measured in degrees Celsius or Kelvin. Now that we have learnt about temperature, let us look at the device used to measure temperature.
What is thermometer?
It is called a thermometer. The most common use of thermometer is to measure our body temperature. Such a thermometer is called a clinical thermometer. A clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube. It has a bulb at one end filled with mercury. Outside the bulb, a small shining thread of mercury can be seen. A clinical thermometer reads temperature from 95 degree Fahrenheit to 107.6 degree Fahrenheit. The normal temperature of human body is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit.
Very important. This is 37.5 or 98.6. The normal temperature. Okay.
The clinical thermometer is also known as a doctor's thermometer. Precautions to be observed while reading a clinical thermometer are as follows. Thermometer should be washed before and after use, preferably with an antiseptic solution. Ensure the mercury level is below 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Read the thermometer keeping the level of mercury along the line of sight. Handle the thermometer with care. If it hits against some hard object, it can break. Do not hold the thermometer by the bulb while reading it. Let us now discuss laboratory thermometer. A laboratory thermometer is used for measuring the temperature in a science laboratory. It is similar to clinical thermometer but is long and narrow.
-1.
A laboratory thermometer reads temperature from
-10 to 100.
-10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Let us now measure the temperature of hot water kept in a beaker. Take a laboratory thermometer. Immerse the bulb of thermometer in hot water. See the shining thread of mercury moving up in the thermometer tube. After some time, the mercury thread will stop rising and stand at one place. Read the temperature on thermometer tube, which corresponds to the top of mercury thread. This is temperature of hot water.
Boiling water. Boiling.
Summary.
Right.
Let us summarize what we have learned.
Totally learn about the
You feel
what is the
cold,
heat and
warm.
what is the temperature. Right. So
Now that we have learnt about
completed.
temperature, let us look at the device used.
So we learn about the two important concepts and heat and temperature. So in next class, we continue about the same, how to measure the temperature by using the various thermometers, and much more to discuss about heat in next 5 to 6 different types of thermometers, radiation, what is thermal expansion, and so many others are there to discuss in the next classes, right? And some important terminology like specific heat. Oh, okay. So in come for homework, you can notice already written the difference between the heat and temperature. The table already are written, that's why not allotted the homework for you. The table, you make it very clear, 4 points, and take the signature from your teacher and your parents, right? So that's all for today. Thank you very much, students. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.